I have got with me Gillian Robertson, and you're away again on another holiday. Let's say you you talked about. I know you previously talked about wanting to fight, maybe like have a home advantage, so to speak, a home crowd cheering. But you're off to Prague. Do you just enjoy the opportunities that this role has given you? Because you don't seem to want to fight at home at the moment.
It's just sort of what the UFC has given me so far. Literally, even before the UFC, all of my pro fights happened to be in my opponent's hometowns. So since I've been with the UFC, every single one has been in my opponent's hometown. This is the first one that it's kind of on like neutral ground more. It's still, she's a European girl and it's in Europe, but other than that, it's not in her actual hometown. So it's definitely a change, but I would love to. I heard there's a card, UFC Miami coming up in April, and I would love to be on that if they would want to put me up there.
Yeah, because you've got ATT, haven't you? So it's a kind of ideal situation and place to be, kind of destination wise for you, kind of helpful. But you've just been with Duke Rufus at Rufus Sport, and then boys, obviously, Din Thomas is there as well. Is it just been a mixture between the two gyms for this fight camp, or is it just because Din's been up there for a bit with the train, obviously, with Tyron? Have you been up there for that reason?
Yeah, that's the only reason I came up here. This fight was kind of short notice for me. It was 4 weeks notice. So my first 2 weeks I spent at ATT, and then once I got things situated that I could come up here with Dean, like you said, he's up here working with Tyron Woodley, and he's my head coach. So I don't feel comfortable doing a camp without him. And so I came up here the last 2 weeks, and then I'll be leaving from Milwaukee to Prague on Monday.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, yeah, I saw you with Din when you were in Liverpool. He's a great human being, great guy. So you had a great experience in Liverpool. Then your last fight, you got caught at it looked to me like the cage basically caused you to not get the escape you were going for, because you looked like you ran out of space with the armbar. You were trying to go over the top of there, but you ran out of space. And have you and Dean went back on that just to kind of, because you would look like you had great position during that round on top, good ground control. You were getting ground and pound there. Did you and Dean have a little look at that and review maybe little things to just tighten things around that area up?
Oh, definitely. I feel like since that fight, I've became 100% a different fighter. It like positionally, mentally, and physically. Like I said, a different fighter. There's no way to describe it. I feel like you're going to see something 100% different in Prague.
You've had a crazy year though, haven't you? Let's talk about the year, because you've been around, jumping around, traveling with the fights and stuff. Then you've been staying in places, training. So you've been. Is this just something because you just wanted to experience different, not cultures, but also training around different people? And you've got so many people at ATT now as well that you've got around you training. I see pictures all the time, and it's just a plethora of fighters. You must be kind of overwhelmed a bit at times that you've got this many people to help you grow as well as a fighter. Obviously, they're grown being around you too.
Oh, it's definitely an amazing experience, but I'm just here along. I'm just along for the ride. Like I feel like from the beginning, after like my first amateur fight, I always wanted to be in the UFC, but I didn't necessarily see it happening like this. And it's just it's been an amazing. Like you said, I've had a really busy year. Last year I went to Liverpool, then I stayed in Rome, helping train Nicole as a Sengi, and then also fought in Sao Paulo. So it's been all my traveling has been really in the last like 2 years, and it's just been incredible for me.
And now it looks like you're trying to be a doctor, it seems, with the surgery that you're putting on your teammates. Are you the go-to person now with the needle to help with the beautiful ear surgery that you did on Jose Torres?
Yeah, I've done it to myself before. I'm actually doing it to myself right now. I'm dealing with a little bit of cauliflower ear right now. So it's definitely I don't know. I had to do it to myself before, so I told him I could do it to him too. And like I said, I'm doing it to myself again right now. So it's I don't know, definitely interesting.
He's great, Josie, as well. I love the guy. Love the guy to bits. I've done it to my ears, and I'm the same as you. I do it to my teammates. I'm the go-to guy. They're like, John, my ears, mate. Can you sort us out? I'm like, right, come round, and they're just sitting there, and I'm just pumping away, getting the blood. But it's just hey, it helps it. My problem was I played rugby for many years. So I already had it before. I was too smart to know that he could drain it. Being a rugby player, we're too dumb. We don't realise. And then later on, I found out. Um, so when you were up at Duke's, because I know Duke Rufus well, have had a couple of good nights with him on a couple of good nights on the town. Let's say with Duke, great company, great crowd. Did you enjoy yourself there as well? Like, did you know the people there? Have you already experienced training with those guys, or what did you find when you were there?
This is actually my first time up here. Like I said, I mainly came up here just because of Dean. I knew that, Shorty was looking for a place to stay in Milwaukee because he lives in Chicago. So just so he can do his fight camp at Duke's too. So we've been rooming together the last 2 weeks just while I've been here, and so I knew I would have a good drilling partner no matter what. And they don't really have any girls to work with, but all the guys are great work for me. I feel like I've been getting the work that I need. I've been getting pushed hard, and the coaches are absolutely amazing. I love them here.
Yeah, Baleil's a great guy there. They've got Sergio as well. Craig Ecklenberg, as well as a handful of great guys there at the camp. Because I know quite a few of the dudes there. And they've got great facilities. Duke's place is a beautiful little place, a beautiful little setup. With ATT though, the girls that you got there, is there a bit of competition though? Because there's quite a lot of girls around the same weight classes. Obviously, it's bound to happen. But with the amount of girls there, how are you finding? I see you building relationships with quite a few of them, like Trisha as well. Some of them. Is that something that's happened? Do you see any factions happening, or is it just the fact that you all are all just working together? Even though it's a individual sport, there is quite a unity there to grow.
I feel like it's a little bit of both. We're all friends and we all respect each other as athletes, but it's also, there's competition there. Like we have Marina Moraz and Mara Romero Barella, who are both 125ers in the UFC. And it's like, even they're my friends and I train with them every day, but one day they could be competition. So it's like, I feel like we respect each other like that. We push each other and we try to make each other better, but we also know that, like, obviously the UFC tries to not do that as much as they can, but if it comes down to it for a belt, it's going to happen.
Yeah, you just keep a couple of little moves kept under your sleeve. Just keep a couple of little secrets up there. Just keep them to yourself. So I was going to say then, your opponent Veronica, she actually fought on the same card as me a couple of years back in the UK, which is weird. And it was the head kick that went viral. That was that fight card that was on with her. What have you looked at it yourself? Have you watched her kind of fights? Obviously, because you watch MMA anyway, it probably just sometimes it happens. Did you ever look at her competing herself? Did you ever think she's going to be someone potentially in the future for yourself?
No, I never really knew much about her before they offered me her. My manager just texted me her name and the date, and I said yes. Before I even studied her or anything, but now I've definitely done a lot of research on her. I feel like she's very good in Taekwondo. I believe she's a Taekwondo black belt. She's really fast with her kicks, but I feel like my wrestling is definitely superior to hers. She is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, but I feel like her game is mostly based around leg locks more than anything else. I feel like positionally I'll beat her, and she puts herself in a lot of compromising positions, so I don't see why I won't be able to get the submission.
That is one danger, isn't it, with leg locks? Especially in MMA, there still isn't quite a clear-cut, safe way to have them in. Obviously people get the heel hooks in small numbers, it's a small percentage of success, but we've seen how it can fall apart. Is that something that obviously Din has talked about? I know he does the BJJ online stuff. He's trying to kind of, give advice. Isn't it something that he's maybe said as well to you when training, saying, look, that's not something you should really go for in general. It's something to kind of look away from. Maybe if you have a leg and you're on the bottom, use that for a sweep or something rather than use it for trying to attack for a heel hook or leg lock.
Dina is always going for the submission, so no matter what, we'll be attacking the submission, but he wouldn't necessarily give up top position to go for the submission. So if I was standing on my feet, I wouldn't want to drop for the leg lock, but if I'm already on my back, then I might as well go for it. If anything, I'm going to cause a reaction out of you, and that'll give me the space to get up.
Yeah, because you've got Kron Gracie going on this card as well this weekend, happening in the UFC. So that's going to be interesting to see what his jiu-jitsu game applies to in MMA. I know he's had a couple of MMA bouts, but he's fighting Alex Caceres, who's a funky dude, but it's going to be interesting to see what he can do in that game because it's always in. I'd love to see, Gordon Ryan just had an injury recently, sadly on his leg, and it would look like he was potentially looking to transition. I was super interested. I want to see how Gary Tonin does, how the pair of them go with the leg lock game and how they apply it in MMA and if they can apply it more successfully than other people because look, I love leg locks. I don't know about you. Have you got a particular? Are you an armbar person, rear naked choke? Have you got a particular area in the submission game that you're a fan of more than anything?
The rear naked choke's definitely my thing. That's always my go-to.
I like the way you go as well for the palm to palm, elbow behind the back grip as well. Love that. I love that too. I find it far more aggressive choke grip, and also I find it's a lot safer as well. My hand being behind their back. I find that's a lot safer too. Is that something you kind of notice where with the traditional hold, there's a potential of them catching you as you're going there, but with the palm to palm, I find that this arm's a lot safer from the potential defense.
Oh, definitely. The choke's a lot deeper, and like you said, it's harder to defend. And I feel like once it's sunk in, it's over. Like there's no defending it. You can't have as much power as me behind your back as I do there. So yeah. Once the choke's in, it's over.
It's a beautiful feeling. I won't lie. It is. It is. There is something about it, people. If you've never done jiu-jitsu, I honestly go and do a class or two. It's a beautiful thing, and it's great as well for exercise. Look, Gillian, outside of it, I noticed you've done some photo shoots. You're trying to be Ariel, Little Mermaid kind of thing going on there. Is this just something that might be something a bit of a side venture going on, or is it just something you did just on the off cuff?
Honestly, it was just a few of my friends. One of my friends, he's trying to get into photography a little bit, and I've trained with him for years. He's a purple belt in my gym back home. So he just offered to take some pictures for me, and then that's when it started. And then I had another photographer hit me up, and I was like, why not? It's definitely helped me get more followers on Instagram, so it's definitely beneficial.
Yeah, hashtag Sunday Bum Day. I was going to say, so outside of obviously training, you need to have downtime. You need to get away from it all because you just can't be MMA. What is your downtime? What do you enjoy do? Do you enjoy to read books? Do you just kick back and watch silly films, Rick and Morty on TV series? What do you do?
I guess I kind of am just MMA. I feel like a lot of times in my downtime, I meditate, I visualize, I read a lot about just like performance, books to help my performance and to help my mental game. And it's like my whole life is just MMA, or a lot of it's recovery, just sleeping. I take a lot of naps because even out of camp, I'm training like 2 or 3 times a day. So it's just, I need my body to feel better and recover. So really my life is just more MMA than anything else.
Yeah, naps are key. Yeah. People don't get it and they don't appreciate it, and it's like a recharge of the battery on the phone. It's just the best thing, just a power nap, and you're good to go. Look, I like the focus, I like the dedication. It's good, and obviously meditation's good as well because I think that it's key. The mental aspect of the game is something that gets overlooked, and it's a huge factor in it. And I'm excited for your future. It's great. And before I let you go, though, Gillian, I'm going to let you shoot off because obviously you got a lot on. What's your social media? Like you said, you got Instagram followers. Let's try and get them up a bit more.
On Instagram and on Twitter, I'm at savage_UFT.
There you go. Jump on those people. What about sponsors? Who's out there helping you out with your fight camps?
Chef Fit Meal Plans, Creating Better Days CBD, and FTWR brand, where you can go ahead and get a Savage shirt if you want to show your support.
Nice. Get on there, people, and give them support. And last but not least, can you just give a shout out to the people who have helped you out in fight camps? They're a huge part of it, and people that maybe don't know who they are, it's good to give them a shout out and a mention so people can maybe go give them a follow and learn about MMA.
Dean Thomas, he's been my head coach since I was 16 years old. So, of course, him always. All my training partners and American top team, everybody who's helped me out of this camp at Duke Rufus. Of course, Jose Shorty Torres, like I said, he's been one of my main drilling partners this camp. And Kayla Rocco, who will be my corner out in Prague.
And yeah, Josie's put a fight poster out as well. He's going to be on the fight card he's fighting on as well. Nice little fight poster with him on. So he's fighting on the 15th of next month. So exciting times for him. Can't wait for that. I'll be getting him on here and have a chat about it. Look, thanks so much for your time, Gillian. Have a great time and another holiday, so to speak, with a bit of a fight in the middle. Enjoy experience in Prague. It's a beautiful, beautiful place as well. So honestly, take it all in if you get a chance to. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the fight. I've got friends that were at the Liverpool card that are going over to the Prague card, so they'll be watching again. So I'm sure they'll be giving you a shout out in the crowd as well.
Oh, awesome.